Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
I was told to come and ask you for a job.
Nice timing. Do you know anything about carpentry?
No, but I'd be glad to learn.
That ain't worth a damn to me if I have to teach you. Good tools is more what I need. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold, so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one broadaxe in the shed, but it's as blunt as a file. Of course, Osina didn't find time all year to hone the thing.
By the way, would you happen to know how I can get up top in the Maiden?
Why, up the stairs, of course.
Yeah, but I'm not actually allowed inside the tower.
Then don't go there. Hey, I'd love to chat with you, but I got a job to do.
But that poacher is innocent.
An innocent poacher? But that's nothing to do with me. My job is to make sure it don't collapse when he swings.
I could help you with that.
You could. Well, that'd be great. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing.
And he gets this feeling that his time is nearly up. Does he? Nearly all the time. And he's always threatening.
Farewell.
Go and see him. Aye. Once old folks start getting soft in the head.
Sharp as a razor. Here it is. Hope it's good.
Sharp as a skinning knife. Nice. Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that.
And then the execution would be postponed.
I doubt it. We're not going to make a show out of it like they do in Prague. But someone would have to get their hands dirty, and no one fancies that.
Understandably.
Anyway, thanks. I can't afford to fuck things up today. The Chamberlain is as tetchy as the devil.
Isn't he always?
Yeah, but even more today. Anna the laundress said he's got bellyache. Everyone is avoiding him like the plague.
Uh-huh. Would you happen to know...
And what would you...
I want to pray.
The chapel, eh? Well, I'll be damned. I know one hand by the name of Binyek that wanted into the castle too, but for a damn different reason.
And did he succeed? In getting in, I mean?
Aye, he did. He climbed down into the well in the courtyard. See, there's caves under Tursky, and the well ain't actually a well, but an underground pool in one of them caves. And from there, you can get to the dungeons, and then into the Maiden.
Oh, he sounds bold.
Oh, aye, but they still caught him and gave him a whipping. And when they found out how he done it, they took the cleats out of the well wall.
What does that mean?
That the next Binyek would have to jump in and not climb down. I wouldn't fancy that.
Indeed. What was Binyek after in the castle?
A certain buxom chambermaid who wouldn't give him what he was after in the hay and wanted a fine feather bed.
You don't mind building a scaffold for an innocent man?
No, such matters ain't my concern. The lords decide. I just build the scaffold. A fella has to know his place in this world, like my old pa used to say.
I'll be going.
I've got to get back to work too. Take care, friend.
I'm sorry. Aye.
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith. A respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what, go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that you don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
4.
Smart lad. We've got one horse. That's 4 times 1. But Kabat's already got 3. So that's 4 minus 3, which is...
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Itinerant is my new helper.
If you're after some leftovers, the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there, though. And not a step further than the kitchen.
What would you like this morning?
first bell. Another 11 to go.
Where's the damn cooks?
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread.
Well, you might be surprised. Oh, I'll be going then.
Go, and if you meet the cook, send her here.
And don't gobble everything up, fella.
Guard,
Must you interrupt me at my prayers? If it's alms you want, go to the kitchen.
sorry to bother you, but I heard you praying. I need to get to your captain.
You know Thomas? Where from?
Well, that's a really long story, but I heard what happened to him, and I need to talk to him.
Talk. What do you expect to hear from him? But it's all the same. Thomas is lying in a fever upstairs in the Maiden. It don't look good for him. Them bastards cut him up good. Poor fella. And if that wasn't enough, they stole his rosary too. Barbarians.
What exactly is wrong with Thomas?
He was badly wounded in a fight. It looked for a while like he wouldn't live to see the dawn, but he got a bit better. Only a few days ago he caught a fever and the Sawbones is away with Lord von Burgo. And that fever ain't letting up.
And the Maiden Tower, which one is that?
You're in Trotsky for the first time, eh? It's that narrow, higher one on the eastern side. We call the second one the Crone. There's some legend about it, but to tell the truth, it never much interested me.
I'll be going. I'll pray for Thomas.
Thanks.
You're supposed to be helping out.
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing here grumbling?
Because of that damn blacksmith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
How can the blacksmith help you?
How do you think? He always takes this bit of wire and opens the chest for me, and then he promises to change the lock for 3 years now.
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
Oh, you said the blacksmith knew how to do it, though. So the blacksmith isn't a decent man?
Aye, and he ain't decent. He's a nasty piece of work.
I know how to do it, but first I have to get tools for it.
All right, I'll wait here. Another while won't kill me.
And don't gobble everything, fella. anything goes missing, I'll be after it.
Merciful God, your only begotten Son took upon himself our wrongdoings and showed us the power of your own pain before him. Look down upon us with the know that they are not alone in their afflictions, that Christ is forever by their side.
And don't gobble everything, fella. Stuff your face quickly and get back to work. Get back to work.
Fine. Now to temper it.
He laid down his life for our sins. I beg
The second toll for Hans.
Thomas is a virtuous, faithful, and good Christian. I beg you heal him, and all other soldiers of Christ.
I'm off now.
Halt! Step away from the door! Surrender at once!
Easy! I surrender!
Tried to pick that lock, eh? Fucking thief! And right under my nose!
I can hardly believe it.
I'm sure that looks strange, but I can explain.
I'm listening.
I noticed that the lock was covered in a layer of dirt, so I decided to clean it off.
You wanted to clean a stranger's lock.
That's right. I was a blacksmith, and if there's any job I hate, then it's fixing clogged up locks.
And what were you cleaning it with? A lockpick?
Oh, that's not a lockpick. It's a special lock cleaning tool.
It looks like a lockpick to me.
Well, they do look similar, but it's a cleaning tool. Now the lock just needs to be oiled, and it'll be as good as new.
So, you did that out of the kindness of your heart?
Aye, why not? It's easy. If you want, we can go and see your blacksmith. I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. That's just the way it's done.
I don't have time to talk to the blacksmith about such nonsense. The next time you decide to go about cleaning people's locks for free, you better tell them first. Now move along.
Fanker the cook sent me.
Jesus Christ, God protect us from all evil. What does that harpy want?
She's not able to open the spice chest.
Again? She's a bloody nuisance.
Maybe if you fixed it, she'd stop bothering you.
Maybe if your pa wiped you off on his sleeve, you wouldn't be here making cheeky remarks. I'm a castle blacksmith, not some village tinker. I've more important things to do.
She told me you always open it with some implement. I'll gladly do it if you tell me where to find one.
Jesus, why do you even talk to that woman?
I'm supposed to help out around here.
What of it? I already let you into the forge anyway. There's this small red pot on a shelf there with some lockpicks in it. But I don't suppose you know how to use one.
As it happens, I do.
I'd rather not ask where you learned. Although you just got out of jail, though, eh? Just don't get up to any funny business with them.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Don't gobble
Still no sign of the blacksmith?
None at all. And if I can't get nothing baked for his lordship on account of him, it'll be a sorry day for the both of us.
But the blacksmith is just around the corner.
I know he is. Only he tells me to wait, that he's got more important things to do.
Seems to me he's just talking.
I wouldn't be surprised, the lazy wretch. But what can I do? I'm just a loudmouth cook, so I have to wait.
Oh well. I hope he turns up soon.
He ought to, the damn scoundrel.
So I got what I needed, and we can get to it. Where's that chest?
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship will be back any time.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed there. I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You go in with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burnt the roux in the morning, and then the girl told me we're out of venison. I don't know what that gamekeeper's up to again. Actually, I do know, and it ain't nothing good. And now this. 3 years that lock is broken, and 3 years that good-for-nothing has been promising to fix it. But no. After all, I'm just a stupid cook fanker who's always nagging and won't leave anyone in peace. But if I didn't nag, there'd be nothing done in this godforsaken castle. You have to kick people's asses here to even get them out of bed in the morning. The lazy bug.
What did I do to deserve this?
Christ, pardon me. Here it is, that damned chest. 3 years I've been telling him. God's truth. Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
Do you know how I can get up to the chapel?
You can't. Only his lordship and his family go there. And of course, Father Nicodemus. Usually, that is. Only now, Captain Thomas is lying there. He's at death's door. God save him.
I understand. About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here, so either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
not quite. I'd also like to know if you still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally.
Christ. There'll be nothing nice left here at this rate.
I'm sorry? Did you... The third toll. I'd better get moving.
Who was it? Some vagabond. God rest his soul.
Do you know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas. I had him moved during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance.
Naturally. It's certainly good of you to want to pray for Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff, and Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. I'll be going then.
Go, and don't forget about that prayer.
I was wondering if you'd lend me your book.
I went to see him, but he threw me out. I knew surprised.
positions have a name for that?
Well.
This is that well that Calder mentioned. Ah, shit. Oh, this was a bad idea. But it seems I won't drown, at least. The fourth bell. Hans! Are you there?
Henry! Is that you? You've got to get me the fuck out of here! They want to hang me!
I think they're just exaggerating. Don't worry. It'll be all right.
I don't know. But I don't want to be stuck in here anyway. This is no place for me. A noble.
Well, unfortunately, no one believes you are one.
You've got to find that Captain Thomas, who can testify who we are.
I know, but they took him during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden Tower. They won't let me in there.
Jesus! Why do I have to have such rotten luck? Christ's wounds.
Well, we've been damn lucky all the time I've known you. It was only a matter of time before it turned to shit.
It's all the same. How did you get in here anyway? Did they let you come and see me?
Oh, not exactly. I shouldn't be here. And if they catch me, the game's up.
That's not good. There's a guard just around the corner watching the jail.
Well, I'll have to try and get further. I'll manage it somehow.
Just don't get caught.
I must be mad.
Huh? Strange.
The bell's ringing for hands the 5th time.
sure there's a goose in sauce prepared, and that it's not too sweet like the last time.
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
One vagabond isn't the same as another, sir. It can be hard to tell the difference between beggars and us students from Prague, but we have a bit of knowledge.
And what are you doing here? Prague is a long way off.
I'm here to gain experience. Our professors encouraged us to travel the world, but I ran out of coin and things went from bad to worse.
Mm-hmm. And where did you study?
Prague University, of course. So far, I've completed the Septem Artes Liberalis, and I'm getting ready for the Quadrivium.
Oh. Well, my nephew had some difficulties with arithmetic in the Quadrivium.
Oh, I understand. It's a difficult subject, and I'm a bit anxious about it myself. Nevertheless, although I don't have a degree in medicine, I have learned a few things.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he... advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Tell me, sir, what do you usually eat?
Well, I often eat from the banquet table.
So, a lot of roasted game?
Yes, and pâtés, goose, duck. I dine as befits my status.
I see. Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Sir, I'm afraid you have a stomach ulcer. If it's not treated, you could even die of it.
Good God! What should I do?
The main thing is a strict diet. No fatty or heavy foods. In other words, nothing from the banquet table. You have to eat boiled white meat, poultry or fish, lots of vegetables, and gruel.
Gruel? Like a...
Yes, like the common folk. And another thing, you mustn't get angry, under any circumstances.
What? I mean, what?
That's the way. Oh, and I'll get you a herbal potion. I know exactly what will do you good.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
Where could it be?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only, I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. Besides caring for your mortal coil, the well-being of your soul shouldn't be neglected, sir.
What do you mean by that?
I think I could pray for your health. A word to angels to ask for their intercession can work miracles. The greatest Christian physicians recommend healing in both the material and spiritual world. And you have a very nice chapel here.
Father Nicodemus takes care of that. What I want from you is medicine, not talking to angels. Got it?
Yes. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Oh!
The 6th bell. Half the time is up.
Huh?
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden for 3 days.
I'm sorry. Maybe I could help somehow?
The only one who can help now is the priest. And I don't want to sound gloomy, but all he can do is pray too. Just the same as me.
Where's the physician?
He's with Lord von Berghoff. When Thomas started to get feverish, He left some concoction for him. He was only meant to be gone for a while, but it seems they got stuck somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, the concoction ran out, and we don't have any other physician here.
I'm not a physician, but I could try and brew that concoction. It can't hurt to try. Do you know what it was brewed from?
If I knew that, I'd have brewed it myself. Not even our surgeon knows. He does everything according to his books. He uses some medical manuscript, whether he's treating people or livestock.
And where is this book?
How should I know? Probably in his chambers, in the Crone.
I'll have a look there then.
But no one is allowed there.
I'll figure it out somehow.
Why do you want to help us?
Well, unless Thomas recovers and testifies that me and my friend are messengers from Ratai, then my friend will be executed.
You mean that poacher who's to be hanged?
He's a noble. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. The whole thing is one big misunderstanding. And only Thomas can sort it out.
I'm a bit bewildered by all this. But all right.
The main thing is, I want Thomas to live too.
Yes, you're right.
I'll get going then. I don't have much time, and neither does Thomas.
Go. And thank you.
No, please.
The 7th bell.
Stuff your face quick.
Scrub you're after. You'll have to wait.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I'm looking for medicine, for Captain Thomas.
Well, the Sawbones ain't here, so you're out of luck. Like the captain.
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
You know I was locked up? Oh, for such an uncaring girl, your interest is a bit suspicious.
Right. I spend the whole day following you and the arrogant fool around, spying on you.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again.
I need help.
Who doesn't? I still have to clean out all the fireplaces in the Crown. Do you know how many there are?
I don't know or care. I have to find medicine for Captain Thomas. Otherwise he'll die and my friend will be executed.
Thomas? I brought water to him in the tower. And I can tell you he is beyond help. That poor sister of his.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you coming here.
And you too, no?
Well, there's quite a big difference between you and me. The guards don't pay much attention to me, but you...
I get it. Sometimes it's an advantage.
And sometimes not. So, to the point.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
abomination. It's the 8th bell. I need to hurry. 9th bell. Only 3 to go. Must have overboiled it.
Don't gobble everything up, fella. If anything goes missing, I'll be after you. Starving.
The 10th bell. I don't have much time left.
Huh? What the? Wait.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
You all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug, and worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Rattay.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But, sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately!
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Sir, we came to your castle in a state of desperation. Your Chamberlain had the guards empty excrement on my lord's head and beat him without hearing us out. You were still at the castle then, and if he'd let us see you, maybe you wouldn't have left and wouldn't have been ambushed. And if that wasn't enough, when he had Sir Hans arrested, he refused to believe who he was, even though not only I told him, but your Captain Thomas too.
I must say you have courage, youngster. But I expect I would also be in such a foul mood if the same had happened to me.
Sir!
Best be quiet, Ulrich. We will talk about that another time. And I apologize to you for that unpleasantness. At least it ended better than it might have. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Rattay showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
Huh. The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzik are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy. So we have common interests, too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed, you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. Gentlemen, follow me.